In this video, we are going to be talking about strategies that you can use as a no-code web design agency, as a freelancer to develop lead magnets for your agency or for your web design services. Now, if you have been following me, you would know I've talked about working with a no-code client, an agency client, and while we generated a lot of traffic to the agency, while we generated over 2 million impressions, a lot of the impressions converting into traffic for the agency and for the website, we actually ended up generating very little amount of leads from that impression and from that traffic. And one of the strategies that actually help us convert or end up converting a majority of the traffic was actually creating a lead magnet. So in this video, I've actually talked about, about last week, I created 14 plus lead magnet ideas that no-code agency can actually use to get clients or attract potential clients to their agency, to their web design services if they are freelancers. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the processes or 5 strategies or 5 steps or 5 tactics that can be used if you are a no-code agency for generating these lead magnet ideas for your agency. Now, before we proceed, my name is Michael. I'm a marketing freelancer who has helped no-code web design agencies, who have helped different agencies across the world with lead generation, building content marketing strategies, and building go-to-market strategies. And for this agency that I mentioned, I actually helped create content that contributed to over $100,000 in monthly revenue. Now, let's proceed with the steps. Obviously, the first strategy that I believe is quite required for creating a lead magnet idea, if you're a web designer or if you're a no-code agency, is actually solving a burning question. Now, basically, a burning question in my definition would be a question that is recurring, that is being asked concurrently of the agency or by the target audience of the agency. Now, for example, one of the questions I came across when I was working for the previous agency that I mentioned was actually how much does it cost to build an app? And there are questions like how much will it cost to build my MVP, which no-code tools is the best for my ideas, for people that are target audiences for no-code agencies and no-code web designers. But basically, the question I came across at that point in time was how much does it cost to build an app? And I created a blog post to actually try to answer that question, but I discovered that there were different kind of audiences that were asking that question online. Even though while the question had a lot of traffic, different audiences cannot actually be answered by one single blog post. So I actually reached out to the agency owner and talked about creating a session that actually helps each and every one of them, because obviously we have people who would ask how much does it cost to build an app, who are people looking to build an e-commerce app. We have people who are looking to build marketplace app. We have people who are looking to build SaaS apps and so on and so forth. All of these are still going to be asking the same question: how much does it cost to build an app? So a single blog post cannot answer all 3 or 5 or 10 audiences. So basically, I came up with the idea to create a session, and the session obviously was a lead magnet, because you can have the question and have somebody come up for free, answer your question, give you an idea of the ballpark, an estimate of how much it costs to build an app idea at that point in time. And one of the things that happened was when AI started becoming something that is adopted, the agency owner actually thought of creating that process, making that process a seamless process, making it an automated process. People talk to an AI, interactive AI tool, and they get an estimate from talking to the AI tool on how much it costs to build an app idea. So the most important thing at this stage actually is, how do you find these recurring questions? Well, you can do the same thing that we did, which is in our content strategy is where we actually find the question or found the question that a lot of people were asking. So you can use the same strategy, or you can actually try to look at your buyer's journey or the conversations, the client facing end, the sales personnel we are having or are having with your current target audience. So if you can look at these conversations, you can analyze these conversations. Obviously, you find recurring questions within these conversations that can be answered with a lead magnet instead of just creating content to answer those customer questions. So again, the first strategy to create a lead magnet, if you're a web design agency, if you're a web design freelancer, is actually to make sure you solve a burning or a recurring question. Now, the second strategy on my list is actually offering quick wins. Now, if you are a DIY founder or a small team, if those are your target audience, obviously, these are people who are very, very conversant and would really love quick wins, something that actually gives them a faster way to arrive at the product that they are building. So people love speed, Founders specifically, DIY founders love speed, small teams love speed, and anything that actually helps them to arrive at that point faster is always a great lead magnet to them. They would happily drop their contact, drop their informations to actually download a template, a plugin, a swipe file, and so on and so forth. You can create 5-minute guides that can help your target audience. All those things actually help them buy your services faster. And this actually works. Creating quick wins and offers like this actually works for clients in the awareness stage, clients in the consideration stage, clients in the decision stage. Now, if you don't know about this, awareness stage is people are just getting aware, or they are just becoming aware about no code. Consideration stage is they are considering which of the tools to work with, which agency to work with, and so on and so forth. And lastly, the decision stage is when they are decided and they are ready to start working. Now, something like, say for example, in a client in the awareness stage for a no-code agency, something like a bubble or webflow template with key UI elements. Say for example, a SaaS app. If I'm trying to build a SaaS app, I'm trying to build an e-commerce app. Now, I can download on your agency page. I can download a bubble or a webflow template that contains key UI elements for building a SaaS app or key UI elements for building an e-commerce app. Obviously, that would be something I would really love to actually access, because I'm trying to build, or I'm a DIY founder that's trying to build an ERP app, a CRM app, a marketplace app. And this is a free template that shows me, or that gives me a step further, or push me a step further into building my app as quickly as possible. Now, for clients that are in the consideration stage, obviously, the client will be thinking about, should I use Flutterflow? Should I use Webflow? Should I use Bubble? Should I use different no-code app building tools? Now, a tool that helps me to see the time and cost difference between using Bubble, using Webflow, and using all of these tools all together would actually also help. It's a quick win, because I don't end up using all of the tools, or using the wrong tool for the wrong project. So I'm a founder. I have a project that I want to build. I want to compare my options between all of these tools and which one is best for my particular project. So if you have a calculator, a tool that collects my information, collects the information of the project I want to build, and tells me which of the app is best, or actually shows me the list of, or how much it will cost, the time it will take me to build on each of these app, and also tells me the differences between them, I can easily decide, okay, I want to use this, I want to use that. I want to use this particular tool for my project instead of this particular tool. And obviously, there are different tools that are best for different types of projects. So a tool that actually helps me to consider or decide that is also a good lead magnet idea. And something like a tool or a swipe file on how to structure a web app project brief, or even a tool or a swipe file that helps me to create this project brief in form of PDF format, also work for clients that are in the decision stage. So the most important thing at this stage is, a good way to actually generate your lead magnet is to try to offer a quick win to your target audience, which are DIY founders and small teams. Now, a third strategy for actually generating your lead magnet is to try to turn your case studies into templates. While the majority of people think that case studies actually only work for people that are in the consideration stage and people that are in the decision stage, I believe case study actually works across the board for people that are in the awareness stage, concentration stage, as well as decision stage. So say, for example, you have a client you work with, you can break down the work you did with the past clients, package it into a downloadable template. Say, for example, put a title, like you tag it to something like how we helped a founder build a booking app without code, and the 6 screens that did all the work. So basically, that gives them an insight into, say, for example, they have the question, I just realized I need a website or app. What are the things that are possible without code? Somebody that has that particular question is probably in the awareness stage or in the consideration stage. And going through your case study actually helps them understand whether they can build their idea, their website, or their app with no code. Another thing is, say, for example, the person has a question like, I'm comparing options. Should I hire an agency to work on my project, or should I DIY with tutorials? Should I DIY? Should I do it myself with tutorials? Obviously, that's for somebody who is in the consideration stage, already knows about no code, and that person going through your case study that is being turned, or that has been turned into a template, can also get some information that can help them decide whether to work with your agency or simply work on the project as well by themselves. And if it's someone in the decision stage who is asking for proof to see whether your team can deliver, your agency can deliver, that particular case study also works as a lead magnet, because it helps them understand the processes your agency works with. You can also create that case study or turn that case study into a mini course, and so on and so forth. All this also work for you. So in summary, that actually means break down your past clients' post into something, package it into something like a downloadable template or a simple checklist, or something they can easily go through to understand what they need at that point in time. Now, the fourth strategy to generate your lead magnet idea is a very simple one. It is basically steal from your current workflow. And that means you turn part of your internal process into a simplified public-facing tool or a public-facing resources. And why it works is simply, you're already doing that work in your agency. Say, for example, let's pick something like the process of qualifying your leads, process of qualifying the leads that come across your agency or that comes into your agency. One of the questions your leads probably have, or your target audience probably have, is when to hire a no-code agency versus a developer. That's probably a good question they have on their mind. They want to know if their project actually needs a no-code agency like yours, or probably they just need a developer. Now, if you have a simple tool or a checklist that helps them to say, for example, answer the question, what your project needs before you hire a no-code agency, that can help you qualify. Say, for example, a lead or a potential client has a project that is only about $1,000, $500, $1,500, and your agency likes to take projects that has a minimum price budget range of $5,000 to $10,000. You can easily use that tool or use that checklist to disqualify people that have projects that the budget do not meet up with your agency standard. So basically, you can easily cut these people off on your list, and you may also from there identify who is more suitable for your agency or who is not. There are many processes within your workflow that can be converted into lead magnet like this. But basically, you know that as an agency, you probably have a lead qualification system that you use to sift through your leads or sift through the people who are asking about your agency services. So basically, this workflow can also be converted into a lead magnet. Now, last on my list is actually repurposing what is already performing. Now, when I worked with these clients in the initial stage where I talked about creating a blog post to answer questions like how much does it cost to build an app idea, one of the things I noticed that looking at my best performing post, because I actually created that blog post, I noticed that that blog post has a lot of traffic, and looking at my best performing posts, those were posts that can actually be converted into lead magnets. So if you look at your blog posts, you look at your YouTube videos, or even sales messages, see those that are performing well, you can easily try to convert those into lead magnets. For example, there were many blog posts I wrote that performed well. For example, I wrote a particular blog post about 8 steps to find early adopters for your startup. And that was a blog post that got a lot of traffic, which shows that a lot of people that were building apps, that were building projects, wanted some insight into what it takes to get users for their projects. And that can easily you can easily convert that into a downloadable, maybe early adopter acquisition checklist. So if you created something like that, people know that, okay, this is the checklist, this is what they need to work on before they get leads or before they get users for their project. So the most important thing is also a simple webinar. You can also convert it into, you can repurpose what's already working into a simple webinar. You slice it into a short playbook or a free mini course, and those also works for converting your leads as well. Now, lastly, I actually, like I mentioned initially, I created lead magnet idea, 14 plus lead magnet ideas. I actually labeled it 12 plus, but I added 2 along the line. I created 14 plus lead magnet ideas. So if you don't want to go through the process of ideating your lead magnets by yourself using those 5 processes I just mentioned earlier, you can easily check the video description to download the 14 plus lead magnet ideas that you can begin using right now to get leads to your agency. Don't forget, hit the like button and subscribe to encourage me to make more videos like this. See you later. Cheers.